It's about 10 minutes after we thought we would tip off. We will tip off, I think.
Hopefully. So the fellow has to finish tying his shoelaces here, and then we'll be ready. Sneaker laces. Either way, that fellow looks a little like Bruton. Up. There we go. And the Alumni, they move very quickly here early. We'll see if they're able to move very quickly late.
Jarek Bowe missed a 3. And traveling is called on Omar Harris.
Yeah, I thought it might have been a hold even in the midst of the traveling, but they called it traveling. I guess that's why he held him, because he couldn't keep him in place there. They're playing a zone right up here.
Chobapont, he might be doing a little scouting for Nassau, too. He's trying to win and keep stuff in his mind.
That's true. Teron Simpson is coaching the Queensborough regular team.
Bravo misses a 3, rebounded by Chobapont. Bruton for 3, and it's good.
Bruton. I like Bruton.
He played with some of these guys.
As we said, he still might be playing ball somewhere, so keep that in mind.
And there's a 3-pointer. Kason. 3-3.
I think Teron likes this game because he gets the coach over there for the Tigers, and Simpson is the head coach of the regular Tigers squad right now.
Bowe back to Bruton. Chobapont for 3. It was well contested, but he hit anyway.
Chobapont has a magic wand on that one.
That 3 is no good. Rebounded by Chobapont.
Set a 3 for a 3, huh?
Bruton.
Oh.
Bruton.
He was set up for that one, Dave.
No. Looked like an impossible release. 9-3 Alumni. And Bruton, almost a block from behind, but they say a little contact.
He got almost all of that ball.
This might be a good way to conserve energy for the Alumni early on. Take a few threes, and if you make them, have a little energy for later on.
Well, we want to see the current Tigers play well in this game, though. We think they need to get off to a good start. And, you know, they didn't win a game in the CUNY last year. They didn't win a game last year, did they?
No, they didn't win a game in CUNY last year, and they didn't win a game in CUNY the year before that.
Yeah.
So they're due. 9-4 Alumni.
So I guess the moniker this year will be "Show Me the CUNY." 9-4. There we are.
Up ahead, 3-pointer is good.
That's his second. It's 9-7 now. Chobapont wants the ball. He's calling for the ball. They're kind of ignoring him, though.
Bruton misses a long 3.
Oh, up court. Easy two.
And we're tied at 9. It's a little 6-0 run from the current Tigers.
Current Tigers are in the 2-3 zone. It's just serving them well early on here. A lot
Jarek
of outside
Bowe.
shots.
Bowe misses a 3. Brandon Sager with the rebound. He was here last year.
He was one of their top performers.
And another basket for QCC. 11-9. Funny, Amengo's coaching from the other side of the court.
They look good so far.
Mike Bravo. Tipped in by McDonald.
Oh, you got to box him out. And McDonald made a good living like that when he played normally. And
We're going to get Bruton for a foul. That's his second if anybody's keeping count.
He played with that fella last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bruton played with him on the Queensborough squad. In a few games they came close. Whoop. Whoop.
11-11, 4 minutes in.
11-11, Sunset Strip.
Chobapon takes a 3. Off the mark.
They want to run. He
Omar
ran.
Harris, coast to coast, counted and the foul.
Harris going into another gear right there, past the Alumni, and reminding them of the way they used to be able to run at times.
Hopefully this year the Tigers do better at the free throw line than we've seen them for a few years.
And if they have somebody like that right there that can take it to the basket, that's an improvement.
Bruton was
Foul
blocked,
from
but there was
behind.
contact, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good outside shooter, but he needs to improve his free throw shooting a little bit. And he never really was a money free throw shooter either. In fact, the Tigers have not been a money free throw shooting team, but
Yeah, Chobapon for a push off.
you don't get fouled out there a lot, so you really don't worry about the free throw shooting all that much, but he gets some putbacks. I'm looking at it, if he goes to another level, which maybe he will at some time.
I think there's a good chance. Sager for 3, no good. Rebounded almost by Bruton.
Took it away.
Good hustle. Tough angle shot, and the wild one is no good.
Yeah, they didn't have a chance, really.
Sherrick Bowe missed and got it back and then tried to get it to Chobapon. It was picked off. McDonald on the floor for it. Loses it, and after all of that, a foul against QCC.
Can you say ugly basketball? Those 3 plays there. What am I doing?
Got a new 5 coming in for the Alumni.
New 5.
Ron Soufant, let's see if he has some 3s left over from the first game.
Boy, they hit them in the first game, didn't they?
Soufant, I think, hit 7 or 8.
Their small squad that they put out here now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like 5 guards.
I think Queensborough never really has a big monster in the middle. Even when they won the last CUNY title, what was the biggest guy, 6'2"?
Yeah, Seeger looks like the biggest player they have. Yeah, nobody big on that team either. That was a small team, and it was small in numbers at the beginning of the year. I think they had like 5, 6 players. But then as the year went on, they added a couple. Yeah, nobody was over 6'4" on that team.
Elijah Trotman misses a 3. Lattimore knocks it out of bounds, and the ball goes to QCC.
But as I said, one of the guys was 6'4", but he could jump like he was 6'7". Made him 6'7".
Home run pass. Sager. And a charge.
Offensive. You know what's good about that squad too? They had Simpson as a point guard, and you know he really controlled the flow really well when they got in trouble, and that's something they've been missing the last few years too. No real dependable point guard.
Well, I think one of the things that separates some CUNY opponents from them is that they always have a guy who could take over a game for 5 or 6 minutes.
And be very strong to the basket, you know?
Mm-hmm. Trotman missed.
There's Trotman. He's on the other team now.
Yeah.
On
a little over 6 minutes in.
The old Tigers.
Nice move by Seeger.
Now Seeger, he has possibilities. He had a decent year last year.
Maybe a little better in leadership now that he's one of the returners.
He's a hard charging player that we spoke about, somebody that can really go to it.
Three-pointer is no good, and Seeger with the rebound. Nice lefty layup. It's 17-11.
And he made a nice play there. He got right up court, distributed the ball, and wasn't afraid to get rid of it.
A 14-2 run by the Tigers.
You like those, because many times last year, you remember they had a lot of runs against them. Bad runs.
Soufan for three, it's good. Picking up right where he left off. To the basket, right hand, no good.
A little backhand on that.
Loose ball, and Trotman chases it down. And Trotman puts it in a crowd of defenders.
Some of these guys like playing for the Alumni. They've made a little better move than they made for Queensborough last year. There was a foul. I think it's on Trotman. Sub for the Tigers. A couple of them are wearing white jerseys. There were not enough gold jerseys available, I guess. You do have 19 players over there.
Well, the white is the Alumni, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The white is the Alumni. You're right.
Lattimore. Nice pass up ahead.
And they made a comeback. And they're in the lead now. Well, quick as you can say, run.
There's a foul.
There's a foul, yeah.
More whistles in this game than the first game.
Strong move by number 10 there for the current Tigers. He's got a nice, strong game. We'll look for more of that.
So important game for Queensborough in the sense that you want to see what you have. And they haven't made all their cuts yet either.
No.
So it's one of those things.
They'll have some to make, yes.
I mean, it's
they don't have
deep
enough
team
chairs.
right now. There are guys that don't even have
got
chairs.
Guys standing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good situation because, as you know, when you get to mid-year, some guys are going to be out anyway.
Oh, injuries happen. The grades come back.
Yeah.
You never know. Here's a three-pointer. No good. High arcing. Carter to Soufan. Soufan to Lattimore, give and go. Doing a little nifty dribbling. And Soufan, double dribble. And he's saying no.
He out moved himself before he put the ball on the floor. He had the feet pumping. 18-17. It's the Alumni by 1 point anyway. They're going to give Seeger a rest now. He did a lot there. He got rebounds, ran through the passes.
Seeger going to the bench for a little breather. This is really the first real game action for these guys as a team.
See, they're not so smooth running the half court yet. Obviously, they can't be. I mean,
You got a 3-second violation
they
call.
have a lot of new guys, so they're trying to get a feel for each other.
It's a funny game when you have all these alumni that may know each other, but they never really play as a team, and they have to do it for one afternoon against a bunch of guys that have never played together in a game as a team and have to do it all year.
And the Alumni guys know that, we don't play together normally, but pass me the ball, I'll pass you the ball, and we'll get open shots. But the young guys, they don't do that. They get a little panicky, and they turn the ball over. That was a nice play right there, run.
19-18. You also don't want anybody trying to be too fancy to show off for the coaches and going, hey, don't cut me, look what I could do.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to have a real guy who could play out there, though. Somebody that could take everybody by storm.
Step back three,
that wouldn't
almost
hurt.
baked it in.
That wouldn't hurt.
No. 21-18. 8 different Tigers have scored. Soufont, bounce pass Lattimore. Baseline jumper is good. Tricky angle.
Nice shot, boy.
Oh.
And they needed it. It's a 1-point game again.
It almost looked like he was almost behind the basket.
He was in the deep corner, in the very corner. In the tip of the corner.
Shot clock didn't reset. These refs are right on it. And the subs will come in for the Alumni. So 21-20, current Tigers, 9:47 to go in the first.
Good game, by the way. 9:47. And you don't want to put too much pressure on these young guys because they know that the Tigers have not been successful. And like you said, it's got to be a team thing,
It's a nice little shot. 23-20. Chobopon tries to tie it and is off the mark. Nice transition basketball. It's 25-20.
Yeah.
I don't think the Alumni want to get in a running
Number
game.
10 is a nice player for Queensborough.
There's Carl Benjamin with the ball. Nice dish off to Chobopon, who's fouled. Benjamin with the pass. Remember, Benjamin hit one of the best shots in Queensborough history, that CUNY playoff against Hostos in 2013.
Yeah.
Done by 1 final minute, and he takes this 3 that's rolling around the basket and finally goes in.
What an exciting game that was. And, we said they haven't won a championship, but they did get to the championship game, and they lost to Bronx Community. And
Benjamin was a very good defensive player. Didn't have a lot of big scoring games, but he hit that big shot.
But that Bronx team was a very good team.
Well, they were the champions. And Queensborough was down 21 in that game. They cut it to 5 with about 6 minutes left, and then Bronx pulled away. That was an exciting game, too.
Yeah, but that semifinal game was maybe one of the most exciting games in Queensborough history. Might have been the most exciting ever.
You could put that up against some of the title games.
They had a couple with BMCC, for the title that were very close at the end.
Bruton puts up a 3 in front of the bench, and it's no good. Shot is no good. Bruton the rebound. And it's taken away from behind. The Alumni have some athletes, but like I said, I don't think they want to get into a running game with the current Tigers.
No, that can't be good for them.
Benjamin with the block.
And their insurance policies.
They're not quite that old.
No. Some of them are getting there, though. A couple of them.
Bruton, corner 3 is off the mark. Go up ahead, and Benjamin with the steal. I said he was a good defensive player, and then a block and a steal. Bruton to Chobopon off glass for 2. 27-24, 7:42. We've got a good one here.
Yeah, timeout call for. Good timeout by Teron Simpson to get his team some recognition of what happened over the last 2 minutes and what they need to do to accomplish what their 3-point lead. They need to accomplish victory here. So
Chobopon leading the Alumni with 7 points, leading all scorers with 7 points.
It's tough when you're playing guys who coached for a few years and they understand the insides and the nuts and bolts of the game, and you make a bad play and they'll really take advantage of you. Don't you think? I mean,
yeah.
It's like you're playing against school time there.
What's funny, Mango isn't playing in this game, because if he was,
he's taking care of his baby right now down there. He's got a little child with him, with his wife.
I was wondering if he was playing for the Alumni, what would he be rooting for? His players to do well, or for him to just dominate them?
He has a beautiful family, and I'm sure he's very happy, and he'd like to get a few wins this year. Everything in its time, though.
Maybe get to the playoffs for the first time in his era.
Right. Not saying it's his fault or anything.
No.
Just had a tough time. He's on the bench now, though. Going to sit there for a little while. But every year, Dave, the athletes in this community college are getting a little better, it seems. They get loaded up with these real guys who can play.
Mike Bravo saying, hey, my era was good too. He ties the game with a 3.
Well, you had individual players back then who could really play. I mean, I told you about the guys on Queensborough, Pierre Narcisse, and told you about Donald Henney at Hostos and Lynch at Hostos.
And Narcisse was the only guy to win 2 MVP awards in the junior college level in CUNY.
Now you have maybe 3 guys on a team that can really, take you out, and they play like Tigers, not Queensborough Tigers. That we're hoping we get that type of player.
Those early 2000s teams that you saw would have their hands full with some of these teams now.
Yeah.
6.5 to play in the first.
But guys like Donald Henney came to the CUNY, to Hostos with a pedigree. I mean, everybody knew who he was. He was a really good high school player. So.
And there's a combination of that here, where you get some guys who are good in high school and some guys who are diamonds in the rough.
Yeah. Well, you got to be very careful when you're picking them.
Ball stays
and you have a small margin for error because, Bronx was doing well for a few years there, but now they're not able to get to that level right now. It's been tough for them. So it just shows you, you can be knocked out of that top spot. And that's stolen back.
There's a foul on Carl Benjamin.
So then LaGuardia won it 2 in a row there. And now LaGuardia is not going to play this year. So the thing will be wide open again, and it'll be up to somebody to step up there and grab it.
It's almost like there's no favorite, because usually you think the defending champion is the favorite the next year. Now
you kind of get the feeling that Hostos is going to be there, and maybe Bronx is going to be close by. So, but you're right, there's no defending champion coming back, and that probably is a factor. And it might be a good time for Queens to get involved there. So.
And they don't have to worry about recruiting against LaGuardia right now.
No, they don't. And it looks like maybe they recruited everybody in Queens on that bench there.
Like this new logo in half court?
Very nice. And when you come in the front of the building, they have the logo right on the wall there. And I suggest any player just looks in the eyes of that tiger, because, boy, that's a fierce-looking tiger eye you got there, and you get yourself psyched up looking in it. It's colored blue, the tiger eyes.
A long pass he got behind the Alumni. And it's 32-27.
It's funny. Sometimes the change of a uniform can change the identity of a team. And you remember the Seattle Seahawks went to those new uniforms, and all of a sudden they became a meaner, tougher team.
Remember the Denver Broncos always had the orange, and then the first year they switched to dark blue, they won their first Super Bowl.
That's right. And they had been knocked around by the Jaguars, I remember, the year before in the
That was that
playoff.
last game they wore the orange in that era. I'm sure they won the Super Bowl because of the jerseys, not because of John Elway and Terrell Davis.
Well, everything goes hand in hand. You know, you get a new attitude, you get a different approach, and yeah, I guess the coach had something to do with that
Mike
too.
Shanahan.
Mike
Shanahan. Wasn't bad. Do you remember 2 years ago they were in the Super Bowl and they were the home team against the Panthers, but they wore white because they said every time we wear orange we get blown out. And so they decided to wear white and they won. So maybe there is something to it.
I'm glad they won for Gary. You know, he deserved it after all his years in Houston there.
Yeah.
And they said he couldn't coach,
And Wade Phillips is the defensive coordinator.
hey, I always liked him too.
Brandon Sager at 3, no good. And Jarek Bowe chases it down.
And Queensborough has it back, and they're down by 4. I mean, one thing about Wade Phillips, and then I'll drop the football. He succeeded, but he was different from his father. He wasn't anything like his father.
Jarek Bowe from downtown. His first points of the night.
$34-33.
4:03 to go in the first half. Carl Amengo out on the court coaching his guys.
Yeah, he's really out there showing them something right away. You know, Carl's up for the challenge. He's a good guy, and he's been winning teams. He knows that he wants to do something this year. I'm telling you. I mean, I know his competitive nature, and it has suffered through a couple of losing years, you know. So, without making too much out of it, when you come to the community college ranks this year in the CUNY, I think Carl's going to be one of the big stories, whether he can turn this thing around here.
Yeah.
I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but it's just a fact. I mean,
McDonald maybe a little too unselfish with the pass. Sager going after his old teammate. 36-33.
Boy, he had long strides on that one.
Mm-hmm. And here's Bruton. Tipped. Finds its way to Soufont. Anthony Paul back to Soufont. He's down to 9 on the shot clock. Bruton. Nice touch.
Oh, he had an easy shot, and he had to take that.
36-35. Current Tigers leading.
They're going to put a little pressure on the Tigers here, see how they react.
And the foul. That's the danger of the press sometimes.
Is what you want to do with any young team is put some pressure on them, see if you could get them to turn over the ball, and then you have some points in your favor right away. It's a 1-point game right now. Of course, if you're not familiar, and most people from this place, if they're watching this game, or they know that you only have these players for 2 years. You don't have 4-year players. You have freshmen and sophomores, and you have to get your message across to them in those 2 years, or they don't do anything.
And with all the guys going in and out, you usually don't get the whole team together for 2 years.
So usually you want to bring in guys who are very coachable and have some talent.
I think coaches always like that.
And then, of course, they've got to devote themselves to their studies, too, because this is community college.
There have been a lot of teams that saw their title hopes torpedoed by guys being ineligible.
Oh.
Nice move all the way.
Yeah, it looked like a runaway train on that.
2.5 minutes to play in the first. Soufant for 3, and it's good.
He had it really going in that first game, as you said, for the Alumni game.
And that's his second of today's game.
Nice smooth reception there.
11 different Tigers have scored.
I think the football Giants can use him the way he caught that ball.
Oh, boy. Carter counted on the foul.
Oh, my goodness. What the heck happened there? Everybody came together. It's a 1-point game again now.
Mm-hmm.
Get the number of that vehicle. Nope.
Knocked around, and Carter gets it back and then throws it to nobody.
Yeah, I think Carter knew what he was doing, but nobody else did. And the ball just came zipping by.
That's one where he goes, I think the guy's going to cut there, and I'll give it to him. And the guy goes, you thought I was going to cut there?
Yep. I cut over here. I'm sorry.
100 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, he's strong.
Counted on the
he's
foul.
Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Nice move. You get that little step, then you buck in there, and then you don't hesitate. You go right to the basket because you know someone's pretty much going to have to foul you if they're going to stop you there.
Either they foul you or they just let you have the 2.
We've seen Queensborough miss a lot of those layups, particularly last year. We saw them miss like a lot of those layups.
Well, now we want to see them make free throws because a lot of games were left at the line. How many games did they lose? Maybe they lose by 8 and they missed 10 free throws.
They were in games, that's for sure. They missed a free throw.
Soufant, he doesn't waste any time putting them up.
It's just going to say, he doesn't even let you set up.
3 threes for Soufant in this game. He had 7 or 8 in the first. Omar Harris plays it in. 45-43 Tigers.
Actually, a good game here. Good game.
Bruton, Benjamin, Soufant, even that's too deep for him. Harris defending him. Sanjay Carter, a corner 3, no good. Final minute of play. Benjamin, bounce pass up ahead to Bruton. And Bruton throws it in.
Yeah, I knew he was going to jam that one. I think he had to, actually.
Bruton has 10 points in this first half. We're tied at 45.
Slap, tap,
foul.
wrap, and a foul. Carter trying to get that ball away from behind, and he fouled Seeger there.
I have a 1-and-1.
From my recollection, Seeger is a good free throw shooter, so we'll see what he does here. He's a good technical player, Seeger. I like what he does.
Got to make free throws, huh?
He didn't make that one.
Hey, miss him now and not in the regular season. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Bruton for 3, no good. And chased down in the corner. Ahead. And another foul. Like you said, he can get to the basket.
Yeah, he was underneath almost, and he tried to get that ball up. And, if you're going to wear gold uniforms, you might as well run the Laker break. And they didn't wait. 45 all and try to break the tie here.
Should hold for the last shot. 12 seconds to go. 10. Down to 7. May make the move now. Bo, 5 seconds.
Got to do it here.
Bruton trying to beat the buzzer. Benjamin, the rebound, but the shot was after the buzzer. No good. And the current Tigers lead the Alumni 47-45 at halftime.
Yeah, They played a good half against a good effort by the Alumni, and it should be an interesting second half come second half. We didn't see a lot of Mike Bravo there. Mike Bravo on the end of the bench, they might put him in a little bit more, and we'll see what Mike is able to do. He had a very good first game there.
11 different Tigers scoring. They lead by 2 at the half. The second half about to begin. Queensborough leading the Alumni 47-45. 11 different Tigers scored in the first half.
Out of a whole bunch of them on the bench.
Yeah.
They got to make 5 cuts soon, David. 5 cuts they have to make. So they'll be down to 21 on their
Nice play by Omar Harris to start the second half. 49-45.
Omar's a real player. There he is again.
Now going 1-on-2 and putting it in off glass. Nice move by Harris.
He looked like Gerald Henderson on that one. He really did. He really did. Havlicek stole the ball.
Bruton answers back.
I've got to tell people who Gerald Henderson is. He was a Boston Celtic, and they beat the Lakers in 1985, I believe.
84. There's a McIntosh 3. Had that big steal and basket.
He had a
game
big
2.
steal and a basket. He said, "What were you thinking of when you made that steal?" He said, "I was thinking of Johnny Most saying, Henderson stealed the ball."
I think you'll hurt your throat if you do a Johnny Most impression.
Johnny Most was
too
like
much.
Wolfman Jack, you know. I think they were the same guy. 54-47.
And the Alumni call a timeout.
Now we have a timeout, so I could tell you about Johnny Most. He was the gravelly-voiced radio announcer of the Boston Celtics, who they loved, and because they loved the Boston Celtics. So if you love the Boston Celtics, then you're going to love Johnny Most, because he was kind of a homer, you know.
You could take out kind of. Do you remember he went to the doctor once and his hearing was bothering him and they took out like the earpiece? Had been in his ear for like a year and a half.
Oh, man. I didn't want to mess with his voice, though. Don't mess with that voice.
Well, it was him in Boston and Jake Hearn in L.A. And
I'll tell you, though,
he
had some great games to do. I mean, you had Magic Johnson, Kareem Jabbar, and James Worthy playing against Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Larry Bird. I mean, the greatest players of all time. What games those were.
Good ESPN documentaries about those 80s games if anybody wants to check it out.
And you want to open up a debate. Could either of those teams just walk over the Golden State Warriors? I would say. I don't know.
Bruton with the basket. I don't know how they would defend Steph Curry, though.
They'd put Kevin McHale on him with his arms, and he'd just go out there and try to stop him. 54-49 it is.
Counted on the foul.
I tell you that Harris is a ball player. He made a great pass there.
And a nice finish is he had to deal with Bravo making contact.
I like what I'm seeing from Harris. He looks like a player, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't want to make statements right away, but I could see the way he handles himself, and he could be a very big player for this ball club.
Definitely caught our eye in this first time seeing him.
You want somebody out there who has a little walk and do the talk. You know, a guy that knows what he's doing, and he looks like a kid that can do that. They have the Alumni a little jumbled up here at the very beginning, 57-49. That's also good to see. Playing the zone, not allowing them to penetrate.
Soufant, I think, was on the line. Either he put up an air ball and got back his own miss, or he was standing on the line when he got it.
They really were active in that lane. They filled that lane. They only get him an inside shot.
It's a three-pointer from McIntosh, no good, and Soufan chases it down and stays in bounds. So he rolls it up to Benjamin.
He rolled it up to him. He did.
Carl Benjamin going baseline, up and under and in.
Hey, you know, he's faster than you think, isn't he, Benjamin?
Mm-hmm. It's Benjamin's first points of the night. And there's a nice little shot over McDonald.
Yeah, great ball movement too, David. And it starts with number 1 in there, Omar, making another good pass that led to another good pass that got them the open shot.
3 minutes into the second half, Tigers by 8. Benjamin misses and Seeger with the rebound. And Bruton reaches in against his old teammate and fouls him.
I was asking Seeger at a halftime how it felt to play against guys he played with last year. He said, it's fun, man. And I said, you're pretty much like the leader on this team right now. And you ready for that challenge? He says, I am. I'm ready for the year.
And here he hits a 3. He seems ready. He's got 7 points now. 62-51 Tigers. Well, 15-6 run at the beginning of this half.
Well, if you put Josh Williams with him, and, you know, Josh was with them a few years ago, by the way. If you put just Josh Williams with Seeger, and then you bring another ball player in, you have a whole different chemistry. And there's a foul as they tried to stop the very hard-charging McDonald, as he always has been.
He'll go to the line for 2.
If any problem with McDonald, I said he was always a little outsized maybe when he got into that post position, but he could certainly get to the basket.
First one is short.
And the trademark of the rest of the Tigers, not hitting free throws. And they left a lot of points at the line last year.
It seemed like every other team would come in and make 90% of their free throws, didn't it?
Yeah, and so did the women, though.
Yeah.
They were very bad at it, too.
McDonald.
Seeger looked like he didn't know whether he wanted to stuff that or lay it in.
Nice pass from Benjamin to Bruton. Bruton has 16 points. Seeger, 3, nailed it.
That's 2 threes for Seeger now.
Yeah, 65-53. 15:35 to go.
And they're trying to look at the Alumni in their rear view mirror. And you know what? That's something they usually don't do in here.
Well, it's close to happening.
Whoa. Whoa.
Counted and the foul. Williams finished anyway. Soufan tried to wrap him up.
Josh, one of the 2 Joshes on this team, Josh Williams and Josh Bennett. You're joshing me. That's an old expression, of course. 67-53. They've opened up a 14-point gap.
15.
Made a liar out of me.
Hate when that happens.
Subs for the Alumni. And we'll give a hand to those old professionals there on the Alumni. They've given it a good show here this afternoon, both games.
Some start for the Tigers this half. 21-8 run in the first 4:40.
Oh!
Lattimore stayed in. Almost a turnover, but it rolled to Carter.
Yeah, nothing easy right now for the Alumni. Nothing. That lane has been shut off.
And they're starting to pull away, even if there are 15 minutes to go. Just getting the offensive rebounds. Seeger unselfishly going inside, and there's 2 more. It's McIntosh.
McIntosh with an apple right there. 70-53. Oh,
Carter.
see, nothing is uncontested, and
Nope.
and the Tigers of the Alumni, they don't have a lot of size out there, so.
And Josh Williams finishes 72-53.
What did they go to, James Worthy Driving School, these guys? I tell you, Josh Williams is a very impressive player also. A little reverse action there, and he got fouled.
Williams and Harris have caught our eyes, and don't forget McIntosh.
I've liked what I've seen of Josh Williams also, and the other Josh Bennett.
And Seeger's having a good game, but we're talking about the guys that we really haven't seen as much of.
Who's number 10, David,
For,
for the current Queensborough?
I think you've got Bennett, right?
Bennett, yes. I like him too. So that combination, folks, has given them a 19-point lead, and we're only not even 6 minutes into the second half.
And this was only a 2-point game at halftime.
Don't forget, on the ladies' side, they play quarters. So, yeah.
4 10-minute quarters now.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I kind of do. It differentiates the two games, and we'll see the women out here next week.
You know, I like the idea of it until the
it
game
gets
begins,
late.
and then
Oh.
because in the quarters you only need 5 fouls, and then you're in the double bonus.
Oh.
And all these games turn into free throw shooting contests, and they're about 20 minutes longer than they used to be.
Then they got to work on their free throw shooting too,
Well, yeah.
because it undoes them. Well, that'll be interesting to see what type of women's team they field here.
Trying to get
after
back on track
all the
after a few
championships that they had.
losing seasons.
Yeah, Williams, though, he has a good body, and he's able to handle the ball, and he gets to the basket, and he's a good addition. There's no doubt about that. And maybe the Tigers still don't have as much talent as some of the other community college teams, but I don't think it's about that. I think it's about playing team basketball and becoming better as a team, you know?
74-53. I'll tell you, every time somebody 6'5" or over comes in, he seems to score 25 points or more. That's got to stop.
You know, what the New York Jets are doing is what Queensborough needs to do. You know, play well as a team. And you're going to surprise some people if you do that. You're gonna,
Jets are 3-2.
Yeah. I like the way they're playing. I like the attitude. The attitude.
They started 0-2, and everybody's going, look at this, they'll win maybe one game if they're lucky.
Well, you know, you watch the coach Todd Bowles speak every week, and you laugh a little bit. I think the guy knows what he's doing. He's unflappable.
Williams couldn't put it in, but they get the basket anyway. 76-55. It was the Giants who were supposed to be the great team, and they're playing the way people thought the Jets would play.
Yeah, well, I think they have a little me too much on that team, and they're not playing as a team, and they haven't been playing, and they're losing. I'm the greatest. I'm this. I'm that. You know, and the Jets have everything but that. You know, they have amounts to a second-string quarterback, and he's playing well. Well, that's what Queensborough needs to do. A little transition work. Like I said, they may not be the most talented team in the junior college ranks in the CUNY, but who cares? You know, they have maybe a little better player, and they have a different attitude.
You improve from last year, hopefully, and you know, you wait to see how the other teams are. You don't want to go in with any preconceived notions. Oh, these guys are unbeatable.
Whoa.
Bennett.
Well, we've seen, though, year after year, how these other clubs get these really, like you said, a game-breaking type player, a guy that can take over a game. And And we haven't seen that here at Queensborough. We have to be honest about that. But that's not the whole game right there. The whole game is how well can you do it, especially at this level. How well can you do as a team? And we just saw that move right there by Josh Bennett, and it was a nice move, and it wasn't out of control, and he made the basket. So now it's a 20-point game. So if you see that, and you know that your team is out here to be competitive, I think that's going to make Mr. Amengo very happy. His real name is Clarence Amengo, by the way. You know what, David? They just got to check in for business. That's all. And it comes a time when everybody has to do that.
Looking for a CUNY win for the first time in 2 years.
No. Number of moves there, but he didn't go anywhere.
Bravo hits a three.
Hey, my guy Mike Bravo, he was quiet for a while, huh?
And the Tigers really just going after it now, not being denied.
Yeah, really fighting for that ball, huh?
It's a game that was 47-45 at halftime. And the Tigers have come out here and imposed their will.
They smelled the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sager. A dozen points for the returning Tiger. Maybe they followed your advice and they looked at those Tiger eyes in the hallway before the second half.
They can psych you up, man. I think you got to do that 5 minutes before each game. I really do.
Well, volleyball being played, batting it around.
No, another thing they did, I mean, there's 5 guys on the court, and I'd say there's 15 on the bench. So I think what they did is they said, we're going to bring about 20 guys in here, and we're going to make 5 guys play off the team. And we're going to take the best 15 guys we
can. It could be it. You play your way off.
And that's how they're playing. Yeah, everybody wants a spot, you know.
Illegal screen, ball back to the Alumni.
81-60. Quite honestly, the Alumni have never been in the second half at all, really. And they look a little dejected, even though they are Alumni players. I think they wanted to put on a better show, you know.
I think a lot of them were feeling winded after, one game and then half of this. Bravo is still hanging in there.
You gotta love my man Bravo. You gotta love him. You just gotta love him. Yep.
And the current Tigers coming up with pretty much every 50-50 ball. There's a foul against the current team.
They just keep coming like wave after wave of guys that they put in, playing very hard. And that's something, you can't teach a guy to play well, but you can teach them to play hard. And they're all playing hard.
Mm-hmm.
You can teach a guy to play better, don't get me wrong, but...
The age-old question of how much coaching can you truly do?
You don't make anyone a superstar, but you can make them good, very good.
I think even more than having the most talented players, how can you find a guy who might be a marginal player elsewhere and get value out of him?
Right.
Make him into a contributor.
Like for every Walt Frazier and every Earl Monroe, you have then a Dean Meminger on that team, and you need him too.
Mike Reardon.
Yeah.
Well, those Minutemen.
And Cassie Russell and John Stallworth and Dave Stallworth.
That was the problem. They had Steelers wide receivers playing for them.
But, seriously, I don't want to go back that far, but everybody's going to remember, or most people who know the NBA are going to remember those 5 top players, but they're not going to remember Dave Stallworth or Dean Meminger or, Mike Reardon that you mentioned. They're not going to remember those guys. But
even the Bulls in the 90s with Jordan and Pippen and Rodman, Steve Kerr hit a winning shot in the finals. Right. John Paxson hit a winning shot in the finals.
And he's doing pretty well right now.
Yeah. Hopefully he stays healthy and is able to stay on the sidelines. He had some health scares, Steve Kerr. And remember, Kerr went to the Spurs and won 2 more titles.
He's a winning player, and he was a winning player and a winning coach. $81-62. Go ahead.
Even those Lakers with Kobe Bryant for all those years, Derek Fisher hit his share of big shots. 81-62.
I love these guys, some of these guys. But I want to say one thing. I wish they would stop putting politics in when they talk.
81-64.
Because that's not why we like them.
10-10 remaining.
And that's not, and I'm not making a statement. I'm just saying I wish they wouldn't. Woo!
You never know if the current team falls asleep at the wheel for a minute and the Alumni hit a 3.
Yeah, well, you don't want to be too hot doggish, and you're going to start making some fancy passes, and nobody's under the basket. Then you're going to get yourself in a little trouble. 81-64.
And then the Tigers have played a very, very strong second half in these at least first 10 minutes.
So, these are the Alumni, so they got something to grab at the end there, and if they have enough wind, they're going to make a run here. 81-64. We'll see how the current Tigers perform.
34-19, they've outscored the Alumni in this half. Benjamin, lefty off glass.
I tell you, he is faster than I thought. He makes that move very quickly. Every time, you don't know if he's going to make it, but he does.
And a steal from Benjamin. And Benjamin pull up 3, and it's good. All of a sudden, it's down to a 12-point game. Alumni hanging around.
I think, yeah.
Benjamin was probably one of the most intelligent players that I've ever met here. I think he would have a good future in coaching if that's what he was interested in doing. He might not want to coach, I don't know.
May not.
Soufont misses. We're under 9 minutes to go. There's a little layup. Chisom Megonu. It's at 83-69.
I do know maybe he's hearing a little Robert Holford Jr. in his ear, though, somewhere. Echoes of Robert Holford talking to him. Get going.
Those were some practices, by the way. I sat in on a few Robert Holford practices.
He overmade that move there. Yeah, but when we're talking about coaches here, he was here one year, right? He had a heck of a year, though.
And there was a guy who had about 27 guys on that bench between the players and the assistants. Didn't matter for Holford if he needed a seat because he never sat down during a game.
Well, I love Bob. He's a great guy. But
he would sweat more than anybody I think I've ever seen.
He is a load to handle. So,
And he wins.
He wins, and you better play well for him, but he's also tough to handle in terms of him being him. He don't change for anybody. 83-71.
Hey, all of a sudden, a 12-point game, which was about 20 a few minutes ago.
8:02 to go. So, I remember Mike Brown was over at John Jay. First he was at Hunter, and he put together like an all-American squad at Hunter, and they won the CUNY title. Then he went to John Jay, and he was a tough drill sergeant guy, on the court. Off the court, he was this mildly spoken, wonderful man. On the court, he was very tough.
Holford was like that, and Mike Kerr was like that.
I went on the bench at John Jay, and I was speaking to him, and I said, Coach, you ever think maybe tone it down a little bit? No way. This is the way I learned from when I was at West Virginia with Gail Catlett, and just that was his way. And soon they parted ways, though.
Under 8 minutes to go in this game, I would like to see the Alumni put a little scare into the current team.
I tell you what, he was a great assistant coach, too, just like Holford would probably be, both of them.
Sager misses a 3. Remember we did the women's Alumni game a few years ago, and the current girls blew like a 20-point lead or something to the Alumni. It was kind of a good lesson for them, like, hey, you have to play 40 minutes. Can't take your foot off the gas, and this game is down to 83-73.
Yeah, it has gotten down in a hurry, hasn't it?
Well, 16-6 run, and a 20-point lead is down to 10. Long 2 is no good, but they get the offensive rebound.
And now the younger guys, they're not buzzing like they were. They're not buzzing to the ball like they were.
The passes aren't as crisp.
Well, just shows you how experience can play a little havoc with you.
This was a 21-point game with 10:40 to go. It's down to 10 with still 6:50 left.
Oh, man, if he hits that shot, he really puts the pressure on. But
then we've really got a game. Williams misses. Guys don't miss, and then is hammered.
Quite funny because, and not funny, but quite mysterious because now they're leaving them a little short, whereas before they were right to that hoop, putting them in. So here's where you get tested. And another Josh will go to the line, Josh Williams. And these are big free throws now, too.
Makes the first. He's got 15 points.
He took the time, studied, and see what he does on the second. That makes it an 11-point game now.
And Bruton going in for the Alumni.
And now when you're in this spot here and you're a young team, you want every point you could get. Every point you could get here. You don't want to leave any there.
And Williams makes both. Carl Benjamin going all the way to the hoop and puts it in.
Once again, Benjamin getting the step. He, as I said, he does it quicker than you think he's going to do it.
He's hit a few of those with the left hand.
Broke up that pass. It was on his backside, and he broke it up.
Corner 3 is no good.
Oh.
Tippin is no good.
Really, he should have grabbed that ball and put it back up. He didn't think he had time.
Tell you, the Alumni have missed some chances to make this a 7 or 8 point game. And Josh Williams will go back to the line.
Not for anything. It's an exhibition game, but I would have taken a timeout here, and I would have kind of tried to reassess things with them a little bit more. But obviously, Tehran, who has been on that bench, he wants them to try to play through whatever.
Like maybe go let these guys figure it out for themselves.
Yep.
Williams not happy with himself for missing the free throw.
He made the 2 before, but he missed this front one. Now you get your concentration back and make the second, because they're all important points here. And when it comes to the conference, they're going to be important points. You know that.
Like what he did there, he took his time, looked at the rim.
Yeah, right.
Some guys miss and get it back and try to put it up right away.
You lose your confidence, but he tried to get it back there, and he did a good job.
Good defense. He was on the line.
See, now that led to them coming back, playing a spirited defense. That one free throw there made a difference. And now,
and you make that second free throw, and you can set up your defense the way you like.
And then Seeger, he gets jerked left when he's going right, and now he'll go back to the line.
Benny Bucket's not happy with the foul call.
He's not happy with the foul call, but he certainly commits hard fouls.
He's not a head coach this year, so he's got to get his complaining in.
I guess he didn't commit any fouls when he was on the bench, so he has to get them out of his system. Missed it, Seager. And he's trying to give the younger guy a little confidence. See, he went up and gave him a pat on the backside there. These former Tigers, they like to see these guys do well. I mean, they see what's been happening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if you got these former Tigers coming in, you're going to tell them, hey, play hard against these guys. Don't let them beat you. You know, we want to see what these guys can do, you know. And they're not letting the Tigers beat them. They're
trying to figure out if somebody has 5 fouls and if they're actually making them go out.
But they're not trying to build up the young Tigers' confidence. They're playing them. They're playing them for real here.
And Seager will go back to the line.
Very frustrating when you miss those 2 free throws and then you can't get the rebound when you're the other team. And he's got to make these. He has to at least make one of these here. And this is where you shoot them under pressure, like.
Trying to ice the game away. Seager quietly has 13 points.
He's sort of a quiet leader. I was telling him, you're one of the leaders, the leader on this team, but he don't do it like outwardly. He's like a quiet leader.
Leading by example as he makes both free throws.
And he's tough. He's tough, too, which is what you want to see out of this team, a little toughness.
Benjamin banks it in.
Benjamin is not taking any prisoners, you know. I think he's the star of this game for the Alumni, Benjamin. If you're going to pick a star for the Alumni.
Fouls are starting to rack up a bit. I think Josh Williams would be our MVP of the game, at least right now. 17 points.
But they get back to the line here due to the difficulty, and Omar Harris goes there. And a lot of free throws being shot by the young Tigers. A lot of free throws. You know, they might be talking, too, to like Choppenhand and say, you know, foul these guys a little bit because we want to see them at the line, you know, see what they can do. So if there's a questionable thing, foul them a little.
I think some of these college coaches, maybe not in the NBA, but the college level, I think when teams are losing, they should foul earlier than they normally would. You put the pressure on these kids, especially if they miss the first one, then it really starts to build up.
Yeah.
You've got to have a deep enough team to get fouls.
Oh.
Nice move by Benjamin, but Seager blocked it, and then it goes out of bounds. Man, you know, Benjamin has been like a combination of Bernard King and Truck Robinson there. And they can't hold on to that ball there. More free throws.
Yeah, a lot of fouls. Wow. But, you know, that's where these guys might be helping each other and developing these players a little. I have no doubt that Carl said, you know, this is an alumni game, so foul them a little, if you, you know, and let's put them at the line and see what they can do.
McIntosh makes both.
That's between Queensborough guys, you know.
Five minutes left.
Benjamin, he's looking for any opening he can get.
Tough defense. And go inside to Bravo, and Bravo puts it in off glass.
Well, a wonderful ball reversal by the Alumni.
Seager for three. No good.
They got one more run in them, the Alumni. They're only down by 11 here. The game's not over.
Under 4.5 to play, so it's got to happen soon. Bravo 3, but they say he was on the line.
Oh, yeah. They say, no, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. But he was.
There's so many lines on this court that it could throw people off.
You could say, what's my line?
Yes.
You could. 91-79. 4:18 to go. Well, that was a big call, but let's see what the Tigers can do here.
Seager with the left hand. He's got 16 points. It's 93-79 with 4 minutes to go.
All about converting. Converting when you have the opportunity.
Knocked out of bounds.
Whoa. Mike Bravo still smarting a little over that last call. He didn't like that one at all. I don't think Mike Bravo likes losing anything. Probably if he's playing cards, he don't like to lose. Look at what I did here. Oh,
and Bruton is called
ball.
For traveling.
I carried the ball.
See if the current Tigers run a little time off the clock on this possession.
Well, they can close the game if they do it right. We'll see. And why would you want to be taking that ball to the basket so quickly? Really, you wouldn't.
Harris, step back 3, no good. Knocked around and they can run a little more time off.
Bring it out.
And Seager, he's the sophomore, he was running it a bit. We go bleeding the clock. McIntosh for 3, and it's good. And that should pretty much put the game away.
David, a lot of times you see teams try to kill the clock a little, and then they kill their momentum, and then the other team comes back. So you got to be very careful how you do it. But when you see you got a certain amount of time, and there's an inoperable point total. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seager rammed that home.
Throwing it down with authority. 98-79, 2.5 minutes to play.
So now this game is pretty much over.
Bruton from another area code misses.
Now you run the clock. Now you
or you turn it over.
Yeah, you really run the clock now. You don't rush the ball up court anymore. But they'll learn. They'll learn that. Hopefully. Because with 3-point shots, man, this is a different game today. It goes to 82, it goes to 85, then it goes to 88, and then you're 3 baskets away.
You don't have to make it up 2 at a time anymore.
Yeah.
This was a fun afternoon of basketball.
Yeah, it was a good learning experience for these young guys, too. Because this alumni team played very well in the first game, and they played well in this game, too.
And another foul.
Yeah. And the Alumni did have it down to 10 points, and they looked like they were coming back. And then
missed a few chances to cut it to 6 or 7 or 8.
But I think Mike Bravo is finished for the day. He's over there. He took the jersey off. So that's going to be it for him. And let's give him a lot of credit for coming here, as he always does every year, and putting on a good show. We really enjoyed watching him. I'm sure he had a fun time, too. Watch these free throws, though, because this game, it looks like it's over, but, well, there's a minute 57. I think this game is over. I just don't see how you make up 19 points with that time.
You get Tracy McGrady with his 13 points in 35 seconds. They weren't down by 19, though.
No.
The thing about that Knicks-Bucks comeback in the early 70s that they scored the last 19 points of the game with no three-point line.
Yeah. The Bucks did everything you could do to lose that game, though. Everything.
They're up by 18 with about 6 minutes to go.
They missed free throws. They threw the ball away. They committed fouls. They
missed free throws.
Everything. Jabbar missed several shots when he was like 5 feet from the basket or 8 feet. But, shots he would normally make. And what can you say? And I don't think Reed was even in that game. Maybe, was he? I'm not sure. But you got to give the other team credit all the time because they took advantage of every opportunity and they made what they had to do. And well, thanks a lot, Dave. This has been a fun afternoon again. And I guess we'll see in a few weeks how these young men do for real when they play here in November.
That's the real test.
Then we'll have more of an understanding of who they are or where they're going or how they're going, or at least how they're going at the time. And, every year you follow them, you get a little more interested in how they're going to do because you know the other teams pretty well and you know what you've seen. And
final minute of play.
We talked about that Madison Square Garden semifinal. I don't think at the three-quarter point or even at the end of the year we thought Queensborough was going to beat Hostos. And see, you never know. You never know.
Nope. There's a three-pointer from Trotman, no good.
Seems like Trotman was with this team last year, and he was. That's why.
That's probably why.
We had about 4 players in retrospect from last year's team come out here and play for the Alumni today. McDonald, Bruton, Trotman, and one more, I think.
It was McDonald, if you named him. There's Bruton, maybe one more dunk. And one final foul with 17 seconds left.
And if you're a basketball fan and you follow Queensborough, look for the name Bruton somewhere maybe in the future. Keep an eye out to see if Steven is able to play anywhere, Division II, anywhere. Because he has intentions of playing. So he's a young man. He's got his junior and his senior year ahead of him yet.
So final seconds of this Alumni game. They don't have to shoot again, but they do, and miss. And Bruton, let's see if he tries to dunk it now, and he does.
That was a little more of an elegant dunk again, but it's over. And it was a little bit of a contest, but the young men did well for themselves, and they displayed a great deal of teamsmanship for a team that hasn't been together long.
A 2-point game at halftime, and then they ran away with the second half, scoring 53 points.
Look at the line that's shaking hands. Look at the gold team. There's like 100 of them that slap hands with.
And they scored 100 points. So 187 win. McIntosh had 16. Josh Williams had 17.
As we said, unfortunately, we don't want to see it, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you. There's 5 of these young men we're not going to probably see next time, so they'll be off the team, but that's the way it goes. Thank you, David. Thanks for everything.
Hopefully the regular season has some winning in it, so thanks for watching. For Joe Massey, this is QCC alum David Russell. The final score, Tigers 100, Alumni 87.